Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. Climb the mount with us, Sundays at 10 o'clock a.m. A word from Pastor Aaron C. Adams Jr.
I come to you this morning because I want to talk to you, and I spoke to you last week on Job, and his name means enemy, it means foe, it means the persecuted one, it means someone that is always searching for their father. And I come to you last week to let you know that even though Job, or Job, the way his name is supposed to be pronounced, is that even though his name represented that, he wouldn't stand for it. See, God said he was perfect in his sight. It meant that he was transparent. Whatever Job thought, he said it. Whatever he was the one when the enemy came, and God says, have you thought about Job? God says, go to Job. Amen. He knew that he wasn't going to back down, that he wasn't going to cry, that he wasn't going to do any of those things. So the enemy went to Job and struck his finances. He struck his home. He struck his livelihood. He took out his children. He did all those things. And I talked to you about Job's wife was so upset that she saw her husband, and Job wanted to die. Because, see, the enemy came again and said, well, Job didn't curse you, but I know if I attack his body. Because, see, there was something about not touching the body. He says he still reserves you. He still praises you. He still carries out your name. Even though his pain was great, he still turns to you and says that you are his Lord and Savior. Amen. Let me attack his body and I'll make him curse you. And Job says, I won't curse. I won't kill myself and die. But God, please let me go to Sheol. Let me go to a place where I can wait on you to come, because he knew that our Lord in the rapture would rapture him up. And he said, the pain is too great. God, I trust in you. I have done nothing wrong. I've done everything you said. I prayed for my children. My children are gone. My wife is distraught. I talked to you about a mother that had lost her 7 sons and 3 daughters and was losing her husband. And she said, well, if you want to die, go ahead and curse yourself and die. I told you don't think ill at her, because she was doing what she knew best. Now we get to the point where Job has to fight for the justification of who he is. This is no more than a trial that Job has to go through. And he had 3 friends. The 3 friends came. It was Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. And as I studied all these conversations that went back and forth, I prayed to God, and I got up. God woke me up at 3 o'clock, and I turned on the Bible, and I was going through it. I said, wow, this is deep, and wow, won't they just be quiet, and why they got to talk so much, and go on and back and forth, and they were saying some of the things. God says you got to understand that Eliphaz represented Job's past. See, he'd been around a long time. You can call him an elder in the church. He knew when Job was young. He knew Job from that, and he talked to Job from personal experiences, and he talked to Job what he knew and what he thought was right in the church. Then you have Bildad. He is based on tradition in the present, and he talks to Job, and he can come to him and say, Job, do you understand what you're going through? And I'm going to bring it to you, because you got to wake up. Amen. And understand what God is saying. Yes. So far, he talks about the future. He's young. He's hot-headed. He knows that Job's strong. And he says, you know what? All this crying and pity party and all this stuff, you got to get away from that. You got to wake up. Because the God punishes the just and the unjust. Yes, Lord. You know, we look at material things and wealth and say, well, that's how we judge how a person is. See, Job had it going on. Job done things for people in the community. He helped widows. He talked to the sick. He done all that. He was an upright and standing man. People went to him because if you ask Job a question, he would tell you what he done. He would go to prayer. He would sacrifice his best. He would repent for his children. He did all those things. But these three friends knew Job, and they knew Job had done nothing. They have come in and out of his house. But they had got together and said, well, for him to lose his inheritance, for him to lose his livestock, for him to lose his home, for him to lose his children, there had to be a secret sin. They didn't say just a sin, but a secret sin. And I want to tell you something that's so careful. Job knew that he had to go to God, but what we do today, day in and day out, we go to our friends. Yeah. We tell them our secrets. We go to the people that can destroy us and do us down. We go to people we don't even trust in God. But everything that Job was going through, he says, I trust in God. Well, when the past started talking to him, he says, I don't understand why you're crying. I don't understand. You know that sin bringeth forth wickedness. And you got to understand that God going to make it all right. He told him, pray about it. It's going to be good. I know your children are dead. I know you don't have your fortune. I know your wife is sitting wanting you to die. I know all those things are happening, but pray about it. No solution. Pray. Don't we have those good friends? You call them, and the first thing they say is pray, but they don't give you anything. Because see, after he talked, and he went on, a couple of chapters, Job said, well, okay, you didn't tell me anything I don't already know. Then his present come to him. It says, Job, I hear you wailing and crying and talking about everything. You ain't never full of heart. Because, see, I don't know if he ever gave this friend advice. He said, when I needed you, you told me to suck it up, to dry it up, and to come on with what you need to be. Then, here you are, going through some trouble, going through some trials. Your children were sinning. That's why they did. Suck it up. You full of hot air. Everything you did for the widows. Everything you did for the people that was poor. Everything that you done. And you sit up here crying and wanting to die. Suck it up. Well, I told you about Job. See, Job, even though he was sitting in ashes, sitting in there, he looked up, he said, who you talking to? Because, see, the only thing I told you is that I'm ready to meet my Father. I don't know. I have done no wrong. Everything that y'all saying about sin and wickedness is true. But everything that's inside of me, I know for a fact that I prayed like God asked me to do. I sacrificed like God asked me to do. I repented like God asked me to do. I took care of my household. I took care of the widows. I took care of the poor. I took care of my neighborhood. I did all these things, and I did all these things because I love God. I know that I'm called the foe. I know I'm called the enemy. I know I'm called the one that keeps searching and searching for my Father. But you got to understand, I knew who my Father was in heaven. His name is Jesus. Yeah. And I called upon him. And I trusted him. You don't have the audacity to tell me to suck it up. If I want to cry, I'll cry to get that out. If I want to cry and moan for my children, I'm going to moan for my children.
Yes, Lord. Thank you.
Then the present comes. Goes off out. Say, what's wrong with you? You ain't nothing but a lie. You a lie. See, I don't know if any of you have studied this book, but this book has turmoil in it. There's some scholars saying they really don't understand why this particular text is taken. We have taken and put it into a nursery rhyme that the enemy came after Job. The enemy did not come after Job. God says, try my son who believes in me. The enemy said, I'll get him to curse you and die. The enemy says he didn't fall when I took everything he had that you gave to him. God reminded me. We keep praying and we sing songs. I'm going to restore what the enemy took from me, what Satan took from me, what all these things, and we keep giving power to the enemy. God says he had to show Job I was more than a good God. I'm a just God. I'm a righteous God. And I came and I knew what you could take, and I knew what you could sow. And I came to you to let people see that if I take away everything, if you call upon my name, I will give you the things of the earth and the heavens. I will break free. I will pour out my blessings upon your name.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
When he called Job a lie and said he needed to confess his secret sin, if you speak it out aloud, now he wanted to know. You know what's funny in our lives? People don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Amen. But they want you to speak it out loud. Yeah. Talk about it. Confess it. Job, and then everything will be all right. He even had no recourse for what he had lost. And the animal, his children that he had lost, he had no sympathy. They even told Job about his God. That his God can take the lion's teeth and remove them so that they can eat and die, because the enemy is described as something that will roam to and fro to kill and devour. But God takes care of that. And Job says, are you wiser than me? I know these things. What you telling me, I have told people in the town. I have told the widows. I have told the children. He says, but now since I have nothing, since I don't look the same, since my body is broken out in walls, that the widows that I helped, they turn away when I walk down the street. The people that would come to me and ask me for money, since I don't have anything, they act like when I show up in a room. I'm in the alleyway at the grocery store. Oh, I see. Let me cut on this other road. Let me change my behavior, because I see that old man Job. That God is so, he had to sin, he had to be something. He said even the children that I told them they had to have knowledge for themselves, that they can't live out somebody telling them what to do and how to do it. He says, I talked to the children and told them as I talked to my children and told them about God and who God is. They spat in my face. See, Job went through this. And the way we do this nursery rhyme, it just kind of happened and things kept happening. But this was a time and a place that the children that would adore him spat upon him. Job said, you think I'm not worthy. You call me nothing, but I am somebody. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the enemy might attack my body, but it has not attacked my mind. Yeah. And I know who God is. Yeah. Even though this pain is great, I will stand in front of you and tell you who my God is. Yeah. I will not curse my God and die. Gets to a place in these chapters, Job is, God, where are you? I think it's befitting when they said his name, he searches for his father. God, I got to hear from you. God, I don't know what's going on. You got to show me if I did anything wrong. But I've done everything you asked. I know my name. People call me this and that when I was young. They told me I was hard-headed. They told me I'd be a foe. They told me I'd be an enemy. I would not live up to that. So I praise you anyhow. I come to you anyhow. God, I need to hear from you. And there was silence. Nothing. Nothing from God. nothing from anybody. His friends said Job is just hard-headed. If he would confess his sins, we could turn around. And I think they got a little aggravated. Have you ever helped anybody? Help them through a situation? You know, they said in 3 days he gets over. And I think they were ready to say, Job, we're going to tell you to confess your sins. God going to pour you out a blessing and we could go on about our lives. But they had to sit there because Job wouldn't bend. And they got sick and tired of Job just demanding who he was and saying, I serve a mighty God. And they said, Job, but you don't understand. Wickedness has to turn forth, and wickedness brings forth these things that are happening to you. And Job says, no. I'm innocent. I might look guilty. The town says I'm guilty. My brothers and my sisters say I'm guilty. He says, I can't even breathe upon my wife. She won't look at me. I haven't even breathed on her. Everybody says I'm nothing, but I know who I am in Christ. Jesus, where are you? His past starts up again. I need you to understand that you got to pray and confess your sins. The wages of sin is death. That even it's not you, it could be your children. It could be your generations. It could be your father. That's why you're going through what you're going through. Job says no. His present comes to him. I just need you to understand, if you would get on your knees and pray and understand who God is and know who God is, God can deliver you out of this pain and suffering. You want to die. That's a coward's way out. You have people that you talk to, and they'll talk about but they don't know what your pain is. They don't know what your walk is. They don't know what your trials and tribulations are. The only thing they look at is what you did in your youth. Or if you bypassed them in the car. If you did this and you did that. People only want to remember to persecute you. His presence came. He hit him hard. He said, well, die. Pray for your sins. Job, I got to move on. You just keep talking about Jesus, but I don't know if you really know who God is. I think God is exposing you for who you are. Job says, but y'all came already with your mind made up that I was guilty, that I had done something wrong. I've been praying, and I've done nothing wrong. As they go forward, chapter after chapter, verse after verse, something in Job's heart, even though it was breaking, he got to the point where he says, I have to hear from you. God, I got to hear from you. They say when God came, he came as a whirlwind. And they said the three witnesses, as God came, and Job was like, finally, God could tell him that I'm free. I tell you, there was times in my life I said, nobody knows that I'm innocent, but when rapture comes and God had talked to him, he can prove it to him then. And God said, just like Job had the mindset, he didn't care what man thought. He didn't care, but he said, I'm disappointed in my friends. I'm disappointed in the children that spit in my face. I'm disappointed in the widows that they know that I love them and I took care of them and they won't even look at me. I'm disappointed in my brothers and my sisters. I'm disappointed that they say that I'm guilty, but I got to hear from God. God shows up as a whirlwind and he says, I am God. You question me. No sympathy. No, Job is innocent. Nothing. Job says, God, I know that you God. And I'm going to serve you till I die. I don't care what happens. You can take everything away from me. I even asked you for shalom. I've asked you for peace. You don't even give me peace. But I know down in my heart that when I needed a change in my life, you were there. When I needed money, you were there.
Amen.
When I needed a wife, you were there.
Amen.
When I had children, you were there. God, I live on the testimony.
Yes.
People can look at me now and say I ain't nothing, but I know what you done for me.
Yes.
And God, I call out your name till I die. You are worthy. You worthy of the praise.
Yes.
You worthy of this pain. You worthy of this agony. You worthy of this anguish. You worthy.
Jesus. Jesus.
God says, my servant who I am well pleased.
Yes, Lord. Thank you.
He turns to them friends.
Yes.
I curse you. Because you came and just said Job was nothing. Y'all had him guilty. You wouldn't even listen to him. And he says, I am innocent.
Amen.
He told them, you got to go and get sacrifices. But you can't pray for you. Job has to pray for you. And I'm going to tell you something. In all these chapters, and one of the things that these guys say, and I'm going to tell you, if you read it, there's nothing they say is wrong. Because they talk about free will and wickedness. That evil is here because of man. They say God is God and the universe is universe. But the free will of man bringeth forth sin and death. We will rebuke God when stuff happens. When children are killed. When a shooter comes in. People question you on God's existence. Where is God? Where was God when the earthquake happened and all those people died? Where was God when the tsunami happened? Where is God? Your mother died. Where was God? You prayed and you prayed and you prayed. Do you understand? Job was on his knees praying for his children when the enemy came and said, your children are dead. The very action that he was doing, the enemy said, see there, you can pray all you want. Where is your God? Job knew in his heart that there's a God.
Amen.
He knew in his might that there's a God.
Yes.
He said, I know people get on the radio and they said, well, you know, you can serve God like he's here and we'll find out, but I'd rather serve God like he's here. I come to you this morning. Know that you know who your God is.
Yes.
Know that you know that you're saved.
Amen.
Know that you know that there's a Jesus.
Yes.
Know that you know that you got a key.
Yes.
Know that you know that there's a Savior. Know that you know.
Jesus. Praise the Lord.
In Job's free will, he was done with his friends. He was done with the widows. He even talked about his house and how he would, I guess there were some servants didn't have anywhere to go. And he would call on them servants and they wouldn't even return his name. Ain't it funny? If you don't look like what people think you should look like. If you don't smell like what people think you should smell like. If you can't offer a handshake. If you can't offer a smile. If you can't offer $5, people say you are nothing. You must be cursed. You must have done something. People question your God. But through this, if you don't learn anything about Job, and I have taken these 40 chapters, or however how many they are, and I've condensed them. Job's had something special inside of him that even life could not take away from him. Even the burden of this world could not take away from him. Because see, God, I said, what is it that Job had? Because he didn't have peace. But God kind of framed it up. And when I came in a whirlwind, now I let his friends see that I am God, and I asked them who God is. See, you got to understand, there was a joy on the inside that nobody could touch.
Yes.
That was his soul that I told Satan you couldn't touch. See, there's a joy on the inside of us. We got to understand about that joy.
Yes.
Joy.
Yes.
Deep in my soul.
Yes.
That joy.
Jesus.
That didn't know what was going on. The darkest day of my life. Who I was changed. And I remember in the kitchen, and I remember my wife was gone mentally. People would come by the house and say, well, you'll have fun, try again. But see, they didn't understand what we went through. Amen. Because see, this child came early. This child came at the house. We couldn't save it. It hit the floor. It busted into pieces. My mind blocked it for a long time. I wouldn't talk about it. And my wife won't talk about it now. But I sit in that kitchen, broken it down. Nothing on it. I remember calling on Jesus. Yeah. I said, God, I can't take this. I can't do this anymore. And I felt his embrace. He came to me like a whirlwind. He didn't say much. He did me like Job. I am God. I am God alone. It restored my joy. I knew there would be more. I knew there would be blessings. When Job prayed for his friends, God increased his inheritance. And I'm going to tell you about the favor of God. Do you know people in the neighborhood said, I only got 30 cents? Yeah. They all started coming and giving him money. His wife, that he couldn't even breathe on. She had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Double what he had. And they said his 3 daughters were more beautiful than anything. I come to tell you, no matter what you're going through. Amen. Through your harvest. Yes, Lord. Through your rain. Yes. Through your persecution. Yes. Through your trials. Yes. Through your body aches. Yes. Through everything. Jesus. Keep your joy. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Keep your joy. Job. Listen to his name. Because he says he is the one that will have victory. And God says, just because it was then, it is the same way now. You will have victory in me, knowing that I am God of all. Don't give credit to anyone. Understand who I am. Give me praise. Give me glory. Understand who I am. And I'm a living witness. God will bless what you lose. Yes. He gave me back trifold of what I lost. When I lost my job, he gave me back trifold of what I lost. Because see, I had that crazy children faith, and I didn't understand church, and I didn't understand the church I was going to, because people would come and then they would fight and they would do this and that and all of that, and I didn't understand it. I was like, they are just hypocrites. See, Zophar told Job, you're a hypocrite. And we love to stand on that in the church. I used to say it, but I didn't understand that I was taking my own joy away. I was taking my own pain away. I was taking those things away that God had given to me to be stronger. Because when we all see show, when we all see our Savior, when we see him in his face, when we see God and he shows up and he gives us all those things back, you don't want to be broken so down that you just want to die. Yeah. See, Job looked up from the help of the hills. He saw Jesus coming. And he says, I receive it. Yes, Lord. I receive it. Yes, Lord. And I take your blessings. Yes. Not as a badge. Not as glory. But just because. Amen. You are God. Yes. May we stand. Church, As we go through these days, you're going to have your past,
Yes.
your present,
Yes.
and your future come after you.
Hello.
And they're going to know who you are. And they're going to call you outside of your name. And even if your name might be meaning what your parents gave you, got to know who you are in Christ.
Climb the mount with us. MountPilgrim.org. Worship with us Sundays at 10 o'clock a.m. Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church, 103 Mount Pilgrim Church Rd, Marietta, South Carolina,